I would love to make a thumbnail, but these just keep dancing all over the place. Hello there! Welcome to a video where we're going to be talking about new Essence and also Catrice skincare. So as you may know, these are two very affordable brands that are very commonly found in any, European drugstore, and they are coming out here and there with some skincare products. I made multiple videos trying out their skincare, and usually it's kind of like hit or miss. I feel like I do quite like the products, but they're not like super effective or full of actives and stuff like that. But they are very likable, colorful, usually inspired by some fruits, containing a lot of fruit extracts and a lot of natural ingredients. And I just feel like it's a very likable skincare, and because it's affordable, a lot of people might want to hear an opinion on it, and that's why we're here today. So I have 5 products, 1 is from Catrice, 4 are from Essence, so let's get to it. I'm gonna start with the Catrice product. It's their Glow Skin Renewal Toner. So this is a new exfoliating toner from Catrice. They do already have one toner that I reviewed a while back, but this one is supposed to be slightly different. This one should be more skin tone evening, brightening, a little bit more of that like surface exfoliation rather than going into your pores and getting, rid of that stuff. What we have here is 3% AHA, 5% PHA, and 15% organic aloe vera. I think the aloe kind of gives it that thick water texture, which is actually very nice and very pleasant. And it's just an exfoliating toner that's supposed to make your skin glowier and make your skin cells regenerate faster, which is usually the case with these. Now, it says that it should be used only at night, which, I mean, for me, it's kind of obvious. I don't really use exfoliants during the day because they make you very sensitive to sun. So I try to use them only at night. And this actually says it on the back, but, the letters are very tiny. So I'm just saying, you should be using this only at nighttime. And even then your skin is going to be more sensitive, to like sun exposure and stuff like that. So wear your SPF, as always, please do. Now, when it comes to the ingredients, this is an alcohol-free product. It is also fragrance-free and it contains very few ingredients, which is actually quite nice. What we have here is basically just the ingredients that were advertised on the packaging. So the AHA in this is glycolic acid, the PHA in this is the gluconolactone, yes. And then we also have the glycerin and aloe. So it is like a thick water consistency, hydrating toner with the exfoliants in it. Now 5% PHA and 3% AHA is nothing drastic. And for my skin, this wasn't irritating at all. So I would kind of recommend this as like, entry exfoliant. And if you're looking for some more mild and more gentle AHA exfoliant, I think this is actually a pretty good one. By the way, you do get 100 milliliters. Now, in my experience, it also works pretty well. When you apply it, it kind of gives you a similar feeling and look to like a very good vitamin C toner. You have like a brightened skin, very radiant. And over time, I think it does kind of even out my skin tone a little bit better. So I do actually quite like it. When it comes to AHAs, I don't really use them all that much because they tend to irritate my skin a lot. But this toner, I had no problems with. And I feel like for me right now, where my skin is at, this is like just the level of the surface exfoliation that I need, and I've been quite enjoying using this. So yeah, if you're looking for a nice glowy toner, this is a great alternative to some other pricier options. What do you know? Essence also came out with a toner, but this one is targeted a little bit differently. But it's the Hello Good Stuff Skin Perfecting Toner. Very similar color scheme, also pretty orange. And it's supposed to clear out your skin, minimize pores, and make your skin less oily. So you might already guess that this is going to be a BHA toner, which also contains the papaya fruit extract, not the exfoliating enzymes. So this is really just a BHA toner, which is supposed to, target your pores, regulate the sebum production, all the stuff they basically say on the packaging. Now, it is very, very lightweight. Again, it is that thicker water consistency, which is very pleasant to apply. It is alcohol-free, but it is also fragranced. It is like a mild, sweet, fruity fragrance. It's not like too annoying. But if you have very sensitive skin, just putting it out there. And the ingredients, the BHA in this is salicylic acid, as kind of expected. Then we have glycerin, allantoin for some hydration and calming properties, and the papaya fruit ferment extract, which is supposed to be like skin conditioning and hydrating. This actually kind of brags on the packaging that 80% of people who tried it confirmed that their skin felt hydrated after using it. And I actually gotta agree with that. It is a very hydrating toner, besides being just, exfoliating. Yeah, my experience with this is actually very good. I think I'm kind of like down here. I've been using this a lot. It is very mild, it's very gentle, it's not too harsh on the skin, and it does work pretty well if I combine it with like other exfoliants, through the week. So it's not too bad, but it's not like super effective in my opinion. Okay, you do have 2% of the BHA, so it should be kind of on the same level as some other exfoliants. This one you also get 100 milliliters, just like the Catrice toner. And one advantage this has over some other BHA toners that I have is that it doesn't leave an oily residue. Because it is more of that hydrating thick water texture, it rather leaves your skin just hydrated and it sinks in really nicely without leaving it oily, which is sometimes an issue with these BHA exfoliants. So I'm very happy about this. I don't find it like super effective on like my sebaceous filaments and stuff like that. I feel like I have to combine it with some other salicylic acid products like a serum or like a more thorough mask if I really need to see like a drastic change in my skin within a short term. But I also feel like this is a nice kind of like in-between product that I can put into different routines if I want to, keep that exfoliation going, which I do at the time. So again, big thumbs up and a good like entry point BHA toner or just, basic BHA toner if you need one. Now listen, next we have a serum. This is the Hello Good Stuff by Face Oil Serum. I wasn't even sure if I want to get it. If you look at it really up close, you can see that there is like a half of like a serum-y texture and then like half of oily texture. And when you mix it up, it doesn't really mix too well, but we'll get to that. This is like a two-phase serum, which is supposed to contain peptides and be very calming and soothing on the skin. And yeah, peach water and peptides are like the main powerhouse ingredients here. Now, it is alcohol-free and it is quite a bit fragranced. I'm not sure if the peach water in it just smells so much on its own, but this is like pretty heavily fragranced. And it does contain a lot of different stuff like glycerin, soybean oil, peach fruit water, vitamin E, sunflower seed oil, some other emollients, which are probably making up the oily texture, and then also the peptides. Like in theory, this doesn't sound too bad, but I gotta say that it's definitely not my favorite peptide infused product. Like I have a lot of peptide serums and my skin just loves peptides so much. They make my skin feel very smooth, very even, just very plump and beautiful. But this doesn't do it. Part of it is probably the oily texture. As I said, this doesn't mix like super well. I think it's extremely oily. You could use like way less of the oily part in my opinion and it would still be like a pretty oily texture. But to me, this is just way too oily, like too much. I've had many of these two-phase serums and this is just too much oil straight up. So that's what I don't really like. My skin doesn't really like oily stuff in general, but some of these two-phase serums are perfectly fine. Just this one doesn't really work. You only need a few drops, a little goes a long way, and it truly is very oily. So for my skin, it was more of a struggle than actually like any benefit. And maybe in like the dead of the winter when it's super dry and super cold, this is going to come in handy. But right now it's not cold enough yet, I guess, and not dry enough. So my skin doesn't really work well with this kind of thing. So maybe, yeah, if you have a very dry skin, you would actually like this. But for me, this is just too much. Yeah, and as of the peptides, I feel like I can recommend you like 5 other things that would be way better than this. So yeah, that's like not really a yes from me, more like a eh. Another product we have is a moisturizer. I love their moisturizer packaging. It's so like small. It's the same size as the serums, which is 30 milliliters if I'm not mistaken. Yes, very tiny, very cute. Now this is the Hello Good Stuff 48-hour intense hydrogel. And it's just supposed to be a nice hydrating moisturizer that should keep your skin moisturized for a very long time. 48 hours to be exact. It does look just like, aloe gel in the bottle, but it's actually a lot thicker than you would expect. And I was pretty surprised by this, to be honest. It is alcohol free, but it is also fragrance. But in this case, the fragrance is very mild, almost like undetectable. Inside of this moisturizer, you have a lot of good stuff. So you have glycerin, you have aloe, you have niacinamide, vitamin E, and also hyaluronic acid. So this is like very nice. Like in terms of the ingredients, this is everything I want in a moisturizer. And I was super surprised by the texture and by the whole feel of it, because it does look like a very thin watery gel that's gonna just like sink in straight up, but it actually feels so nice. It is a lot thicker, or like it feels thicker than you would expect, and it makes your skin a little bit more like covered. Not like that it leaves a film, but it just nourishes your skin more than you would expect from like an aloe see-through gel basically. So it does sink in pretty well. It does leave your skin super nicely moisturized, and I love using this under makeup because it's not too heavy and it's just a really nice effect on the skin, and all the ingredients in it are just right. So yeah, for me this is like a super versatile daytime moisturizer. For the summer as well, this was incredible. Even now in the winter when I'm wearing makeup, like this is just perfect. And the last product we have is the Skin Renewal Overnight Mask. Now this is a retinol mask. Of course, you can probably tell already by the avocado. Someone's trying to kind of rip off Glow Recipe. Can't blame them. So it's a retinol night mask that it's supposed to give you hydrated, glowy, and even skin as you would expect from, your retinol treatment. It should be used twice a week according to the packaging. We don't know the exact percentage of the retinol, which is a little bit annoying, but I mean, yeah, twice a week sounds like a pretty good amount. And considering the fact that there's like no percentage, this is probably like a weak retinol product, and to my skin, honestly, it wasn't irritating at all or anything like that. Let's dive into the ingredients. This is alcohol-free, but it is fragranced. Honestly, the fragrance it doesn't really smell like anything. To me, this just smells like shea butter, so I don't really know where the fragrance comes from, but again, if you have sensitive skin, beware. Inside of this, we have avocado oil, vitamin E, retinol, glycerin, shea butter, soybean oil, and sunflower seed oil. So even from the ingredients list, you can kind of tell that this is supposed to be like very emollient, thick night mask, as they usually are. And I gotta say, the texture of this works better for me than I expected. I really thought this is gonna be like just shea butter, and for the most part, it actually is. But somehow they made it a little bit more like workable for my face. So this has almost like a matte finish, like a matte satiny finish, which doesn't it's not too messy, it's not too wet. It actually sinks in pretty well through the night, and it's not like too messy. Some night masks can be really messy. And also it leaves my skin very smooth in the morning and it kind of evened out. So I do think it is a nice product, like I quite like using it, but I cannot really tell you how effective the retinol is. So yeah, I really like it texture-wise, and like the effect of it every morning when I use it is actually very good. It's definitely not bad if you want to introduce retinol to your routine. Not a bad product, I guess. But like, is it necessary? Definitely not. I don't feel like everyone has to use a night mask. Like, that's not something that is like really necessary, but it's definitely not a bad product. And even though it has shea butter, I don't think it makes my skin more congested or anything like that. So I'm very impressed by the texture, actually. I feel like this is better than I expected. And also because it has retinol in it, you should also be aware that it's increasing your skin sensitivity to the sun. So again, use your SPF, people. Do it. Use your SPF. And that is everything. So those were the 5 new products I've been trying out from Catrice and mostly from Essence for you. And I feel like, again, this launch, not too bad. They're just kind of expanding their like product ranges for more stuff. And they're still working with these like catchy colors and catchy names, attractive ingredients, and doing the whole thing with the fruits where, everything is kind of based on a fruit. And I feel like that's probably good for the sales. Yeah. I don't necessarily think these were like anything you need, but I gotta say I'm really impressed with both of the toners, mostly the Essence toner and also the Essence moisturizer. I think those are the things that I'm using the most, definitely. And I would recommend if you're looking for some like basic products in these categories. So yeah, that is everything I have for you today. So thank you very much for watching. Consider subscribing. And if you want to see more videos where I talk about skincare, I guess, you can check out the playlist. See ya!